One of the biggest and most common mistakes when it comes to weight cutting is something that almost everyone does. They are 3, 4, 5 pounds over the night before or the morning of weigh-ins, and they go find a treadmill, they go find a bike, they go find some sort of cardio equipment, throw on a bunch of sweats, and then just keep a steady pace for 20, 30, 40, an hour, sometimes more, and just sweat. Just a constant single pace, 2-hour, full long sweat. Is it effective? Yes. I honestly used to do it myself. I would go run on a treadmill, ride a bike for 60 minutes, and I would lose somewhere between like 5, 10, 15 pounds in an hour to 2 hours. Not healthy. The reason why is because doing steady state cardio, which is what that is, so keeping my heart rate around 130 beats per minute, maybe lower, going a medium pace because I'm already depleted on energy, haven't really ate anything good the whole week, maybe not even eating anything, and just going on a treadmill at a constant speed with a constant same monotonous heart rate. And if you guys have watched some of my other videos, when your heart rate is somewhere between 120 and 135, your main source of energy is carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates are going to be your main source of energy, and it is held inside of your muscles. So if I am draining all the energy out of my muscles the night before a tournament or the morning of a tournament, do you think I have any energy in my muscles when I go to wrestle my first couple matches? No. There's no energy in my system. It's completely depleted. The only energy I have in my system is the food that I ate after weigh-ins, but all that food has digestion time. Takes 3 to 4 hours to digest fats. Complex carbs, it takes somewhere between 6 hours, a little less, depending on your metabolism. And simple sugars like bananas, fruits, those things take about 15 minutes. Those will be instantly into your system, but if you don't use those right away, then they turn to fat. Now, all those things after weigh-ins are good, but you're relying on your digestive system because you have nothing already in your system. Now, what if you could still have energy into your system and still lose weight the night before? How does a person do that? By not doing steady state cardio, by doing interval training instead. Some sort of like HIIT training, high intensity interval training. Now, that would look like maybe doing 30-second sprint on the bike, 30-second rest, 30-second sprint, 30-second rest, or 1 minute shadow wrestling, 1 minute rest, 1 minute shadow wrestling, 1 minute rest. Some sort of interval training like that for 20 to 30 minutes tops. What that does is it spikes your heart rate between that 135, 145 zone. And when your heart rate is in that zone, your main source of energy is fats. And why that's important? That's important because of two things. One, it lets the carbohydrates that are in my muscles, because I mean, let's face it, when you're actually cutting weight, you're not going to be eating like a ton anyways, and you almost feel depleted once you get down to weight. That's just kind of natural. You want to keep carbohydrates in your muscles. We don't want to use that because we need that the next day, especially if we're going to be wrestling tough competition. Like, we need energy in our muscles to compete at our best. So we want that to stay. Also, if you guys watched my last video when I was talking about diet and what we needed to be eating throughout the week, as a wrestler, my main source of food needs to be fats, because that's the heart rate that I'm going to be in for the most part, and the energy that I'm going to be burning. So if I'm eating mostly fats, then that's what I have in my gut right before I go to cut weight. So while I'm doing that high intensity interval training, I am burning the energy in my gut, not the energy in my muscles. And that energy in my gut is fats, which means that I need to be between 135 and 145 beats per minute. And if I am below that, I will be burning carbohydrates, the valuable necessary energy out of my muscles that I need for that next day. And that isn't something that's going to be replenished fat. So remember, I said it takes about 6 hours for carbohydrates to get into your muscles, to get your full energy from eating whatever you ate. Let's say I ate rice, whole wheat rice, right? It's going to take 6 hours for that to get into my system. Now, you don't have 6 hours after weigh-ins before you wrestle your first match. You have 2 hours. That energy is not going to be there. So you're not going to get that energy until midday. That's when most guys start feeling like they're getting their energy back. Why? Because that's how long it takes for your digestive system to digest all that food and turn it into energy. So what's smarter is to keep the energy in from the night before and burn a different source of energy, the energy that you have inside your stomach, which is fats, if you're doing it right, by doing different kinds of training than just steady state cardio. That steady state cardio is going to kill your first 2 matches. Yeah, you can be tough and grind through it, but that's not high performance. High performance training, high performance wrestling, that's not the kind of wrestlers we want to be.